Mrs. Thackeray, here to do a short tutorial on Google Classroom. We are a Google Apps school, which you need to be able to use Classroom, and right over here on your Google Chrome page where your waffle is, you will often see this green framed in yellow icon, which shows you what Google Classroom is. And if you haven't used it yet, it's just a dynamite way to be able to give assignments and receive student work. What you see here are all the classes that I have, because I haven't archived last year's classes yet. This was 18-19 Mrs. Thackeray, and then my 3 resource groups, which I assign different work to, and I use those to assign different levels of reading. And so if we were to go in there and look at last year's group, you would see our very last assignments that were there, all the different assignments that we had towards the end of the year that we were doing, but those go clear back. The stream, if I continue to go down, will go clear back to August when we have our very first assignments. And I have probably 3 to 5 assignments a week that I do there, and you can see that I've picked a theme color. These are the people that are enrolled in my class last year who have now moved on to 4th grade, and this is the place where their grades are posted, when you do your grading inside that. And you have to set up your grading system, and it works out really well. And I only used it towards the end of last year, so but it gives you an idea of what that looks like when you go back to that. So when you click back and you're on your classes here in your class page, you'll see this plus item here, which is how you either create or join a class. And so if you were to create a class, you would choose create a class, and then you would go through a period of writing the name down and answering some simple questions, and to get to a interface here where you would be able to add your students and add your classwork. This is what it would look like. And then once you were there, you will notice that you have some great items up here at the top that we are going to look at a little bit more closely. All right, the first thing that you're going to do probably is select your theme and pick the pictures that you want to go with your website. And as you choose your colors, it changes things, and you're able to see different looks, and you just have to do that on your personal preference. But you'll also notice that your class code is here. And class code is important because there's a couple of different ways that you can add people to your classroom. One way is to give them the code, and the other is to invite. Where you take care of that business of Classroom is in this area here: stream, classwork, people, and grades. The stream is much like any stream that we have nowadays, Facebook or Instagram, in that it keeps real time, and as people add to it, it just adds to the top. And I've created a couple announcements here you can see for the kids, and then this would show up on their page, and it could give them things to do. And the last one that I did was I asked them it tells them that an assignment has been posted. You can see that, and it also you can give announcements like, don't forget to do this, or go watch this video as soon as possible. And so that's pretty straightforward, and it works as a stream and announcements, and then the kids can comment, and it can work in that real-time way of having dialogue with students on the things that are going on in class and answering questions. If you move on to classwork, this is probably the one that you use the most, where you will be assigning classwork to students, and you will also be able to go to the things that you need to do from this particular tab. I have assigned, you can see here, I have some drafts of some assignments that we're going to be working on as the year goes on, and then I have posted a couple of assignments that I know for sure that we're going to do. And then you can see that these show up in a list as you do them. If you go over here to the 3 dots, you're able to edit those posts if you need to. You can delete them and get rid of them. You can change them from all students to just certain students or certain groups. And you can also change your due dates and then resave and make adjustments there. But let's create an assignment so that you can see how we do it. It's as simple as clicking create and deciding what you're going to do. Are you going to make an assignment? Are you going to have a quiz? Are you doing telling them to go take a quiz? Are you going to ask them a question? Are you going to give them material they need for something? Or are you going to reuse a post from the past? Or do you want to pull up everything from a certain topic? So if you were making an assignment and you click on assignment, you would get a window that would look like this, at which you would put the title of the assignment here and then the instructions. Here's where you give it the grading points or you leave it ungraded. Here's where the due date goes, and here's the topic of the lesson. What I have so far are journal rights and videos, and as your class moves along, you add more and more things to that, and you do it just by hitting create a topic, and then you would type in what the topic would be that you would be going to use. The great thing about Google Classroom is it's super straightforward and there's tons of help on the internet, but you would put your title in, your instructions, and then the one trick that really stumped me last year that I want to make sure I bring up is that when I added documents to Google Classroom that I wanted the students to all have their own copy, I struggled with making sure to remember to click that. And so I want to kind of go through that with you. So one of the great things about Google Classroom is this ability to be able to quickly find the things that you've used to assign to your kids. And so when it stores everything in a file called Classroom, and then each class has a file, and then each class has their file. And so if I wanted to use a post from last year, because I tend to reassign the same things, all I need to do is to go to that class and look at the post that I have. And you can see here that I have listed by unit number all the assignments I have for my English Language Arts class. And if we get down here to the very first one, because we're starting school, to the 1.1 Charlie McButton, I can go ahead and assign things to them based on what I did, based on what I assigned them last year. One thing I did last year was I had them watch the rules for plural nouns because that was in our first thing. So if I want to reuse that post, all I have to do is click reuse and it shows up there ready for the assignment. And you can see it says watch the video about rules for plural nouns, watch and read the screen because there's a screen, stand up rules for singular nouns, and then I can make that assignment. Now, let's just say that after I make that assignment, it goes down in videos. So I'm looking down here at videos, and I decide that I didn't choose the right video. You always click your three little dots, and I'm sure there's a better name for that than that. And then you could hit delete, and then you can delete that assignment very easily. I think you can all see how valuable it is to have this set up in this way so that we can easily be able to get to those things that we need to quickly without a lot of trouble and make those assignments. And it's a real time saver for us as teachers. Another thing I would really like to highlight for you as teachers is this ability to get to the class drive folder very quickly and look at the things that are turned in. And for the purpose of this, I think it's this is the drive folder for this year's class. But if I were to go to Classroom and look at the drive folder for last year's class, you would be able to see that all the student assignments end up in the same place, and that way they are able to you are able to be able to look at those very quickly and do help collaborate with students and do those sorts of things. And so once you get into that file, they are listed in terms of the assignment that you made. So here's my 1.1 Charlie McBetton writing assignment from last year. And when I click on that, you can see here are the journal rights for all the kids from last year who participated in that writing assignment. And so very quickly you can go in and see who's finished and who's not finished, and you can be able to grade from here, and you also can be able to access them quickly to answer questions that they have about their assignments. It also gives you quick access to your Google Calendar, and then once again, as new students come in, you can see here is a list of all my students that I've invited this year that will join as they get their email on the first day of school. And you were able to under the Actions tab here, be able to do certain things with them. You can email them, you can click a certain student and remove them from the class if they were to move, or you could re-invite them and perform any of the duties you need to kind of understand what your class lists are going to look at as people move in and people move out. So if after you did it all, a new student moved in on Monday, you would just click on the plus button and invite another student in. Or you could also just give them the class code, and then you would be able to you would be able to have them join on their own by clicking the plus button up here and click join the class. Google Classroom makes my life so much easier, and I recommend all of you to set it up and get it going in your classroom. It's a valuable tool both as a time-saving measure and an organizational tool for us through Google.